Hello, my name is Asil. I'm a data solutions business manager at Cybit, an IT consultancy based in the UK, specializes in data analytics, managed services, and cybersecurity. We partner with some of the biggest names in the technology space. And in my side of the organization, we partner with the likes of Qlik, AWS, Microsoft, Alteryx. And very recently, we've added one of the biggest names in the data management scene to our list of partners, Talend. Talend is a major industry leader within data integration and governance. Their data fabric is what is a one-stop shop built on open source principles. It can underpin any organizational data strategy, standardizing and automating how you move data, cleanse it, govern it, and share it. The data fabric has a number of modules capabilities and can address almost any requirement and use case within the data journey. And because it's modular, you only ever need to subscribe to that relevant capability. Over the next few weeks, I will be covering the various capabilities within Talent Cloud Data Fabric platform. But in the meantime, I want to introduce you to one of their standalone unique products that can save you and your team an valuable and insurmountable amount of data engineering time and effort. And that product is Stitch Data Loader. Now, Stitch, for short, is a data replication tool. Its use case is pretty straightforward. Connect to cloud SaaS applications and load that data into a cloud data warehouse. It's designed to be easy and a quick solution. Allows you to connect to multiple data sources and push data to multiple destinations of your choice. Now, I've worked with many customers in the past that have used Stitch, and it helped them capture the data from a variety of SaaS applications, loaded it into their data warehouse, and they did some transformations using stuff like dbt, and then loaded it into their data science or visualization tool of choice. So sort of like an ELT type approach. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through the process of setting up an integration, setting up a destination, and moving your first rows of data using Stitch. Now, the whole process only takes a few minutes, but it works best if you have all of your credentials ready to go. Now, first, I want to show you where my data is going to be coming from. Now, I have a online e-commerce website called the Seals Megastores. I sell shirts online, and I've got a number of customer records that I want to do a little bit of analysis on. So I've got about 28 customer records here, and for the purpose of the demo, I tried to keep it simple, but really with Stitch, you can load millions, if not billions of rows of data every month. Now, signing up for Stitch is pretty simple. You can either type in your browser stitchdata.com, or you can just Google search it, Stitch Data Loader trial, and you'll be able to kind of visit, be on the same page as I am at the moment. Very straightforward. You put in your email, a few bits of extra information, agree the T's and C's, and start your free trial. Now, the next page will prompt you to select a data center. I have picked the EU data center. There's two options in there, EU and the US as well. Now, once we've done that, we'll be taken to the main page. Now, we've got a long list of connections here. There's well over 100 certified connections. There's a few dozen that are in beta, a number of enterprise, and because it's an open source product, it's built on the Singer IO framework. There's a lot of community development that creates connectors, or as we'd call it in the Stitch world, taps for, let's say, niche systems. Now, if you can't find something here, you can also suggest an integration or reach out to someone like us at Cybit, or if you want to engage directly, you can reach out to Stitch or the Talent team, and they can help you, or we can help you set up that new custom niche integration and maintain it as well. So for the purpose of this demo, like as I mentioned, my data source is going to be Shopify, so I'm going to go ahead and pick that, Shopify. And now, moving forward, I'm going to basically, I already have a lot of this information ready on hand, but, feel free to kind of follow through. First of all, the integration name. My integration name here, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to call it Stitch Demo. Now, when it comes to my Shopify shop, just in case you are going to be using the Shopify as a data source, that Shopify shop is basically, you can find it in your store link. So it's basically this hyperlink here, or this number over here. I've already got it saved, so I'm going to use that. The next step when we're setting up a new connection for the first time is going to prompt us to sync historical data. Now, this is going to determine how far back in the past that your data is going to be syncing from. Now, I don't have to worry about this too much because a lot of my data or my customer records or my dummy customer records have only been uploaded in the last 24 hours. But if I wanted to, and I have a lot of data in the past, but I don't want to deal with that, I can, I can pick a particular date that the historical sync will pull from. So for me, it's going to be the 4th, but I'm just going to keep it as default to which is 1 year ago. The next step is the replication frequency. So this is going to be the consistent theme of how often we want data to be replicated across into our data warehouse. At the moment, the default is going to be every hour, but I'm going to change it down to 30 minutes. Now, I can change that as much as I want. I can move it to 24 hours and so on. I can even it'll use a few of the advanced functionality, and this is available within the advanced plans. Use some scheduler and expressions to be a bit more granular about how often I want the replication to run, or leverage a particular anchor. Yeah, it only works from an hour above, and set a particular time as well. We'll keep that to 30 minutes. Now, I've already put in a lot of my information in here. I'm going to go ahead and authorize that source connection. Fingers crossed, all the data is correct. And if I wasn't logged into my Shopify account, then a box would have popped up and asked me to authenticate the connection with my login details. But I believe in this case, since I'm already logged in here, the connection should be fine. All right. Now our source data or our source system is connected. The next step we need to do is actually select the data fields that we want to replicate across. We can click here. We can select this and track all tables, which basically will move all of the data within the source system. I don't want to do that. I really want to focus around my customer record, so I can just select it generically from here, and that's going to collect all, or will replicate all of the customer information across. If I want to be a bit more granular about the data that I'm actually picking up from the customer records, I can click on customers and then select the fields that I actually really care about and want to move across. In this case, I want to move everything across. So we'll keep it as is. Got the customers. I'm going to finalize my selection, and that will basically kick off a full sync, a one-time full sync, and then we'll have the replication frequency every half hour after that. So that's the source data is ready to go. The next step I need to think about is where my data is going to be landing. So we can configure that from destinations. So this is the list of destinations where data can land. Note that Stitch is fairly focused around the cloud side of things. Again, connecting. If you notice, a lot of the data sources have been cloud. The data warehouses as well. The destinations are also basically cloud systems as well. Again, the tool is very easy to use. If I'm demoing it, if I'm able to demo it and use it, then anyone else within your organization is going to be able to do so as well. But sometimes from the data warehouse, it might be a little bit picky, and you might need somebody else to help. So you can invite them, somebody from your team, to actually help set up the data warehouse element as well. I've already, asked for help yesterday. My database and SQL data warehouse sandbox is already set up. It's already spun up. I've got the details on hand. So I'm just going to go ahead and select that and move forward with the authentication. So again, the display name here is basically what's going to be sitting and showing up on your data warehouse. So we'll call that Sybit Stitch demo. You can add a description, but that's optional. The host endpoint as well. Copy that. Nice. The port, if it's not included in there, again, that's information that should be available within your data warehouse information. Username and admin, I've already saved this in there as well, so that's ready to go. We need to pick the database as well. Now, careful here, because again, it is the space does matter, and if there is a space in the wrong place, then the connection will fail. Now, Stitch can go through a little bit more pedantic, secure means of connection. So you can use stuff like the SSH tunnel and SSL. These tend to be advanced capabilities, but if you're not worried too much about the connection, how secure it is, again, Stitch is fairly secure. It complies with a lot of the GDPR and SOC 2 regulations and a few others as well. HIPAA as well for our US-based customers. But yeah, please reach out if you've got any questions around the security side of things. I'm happy to kind of answer and also point you to some of the documentations. The next step is to whitelist. Make sure that Stitch has access to your data warehouse. So we want to whitelist all of these IP addresses, and that should permit the connection. And then I've included the connection saved integration. So basically, just automatically connect all source integrations without target destination to this destination. So it'll only apply to the existing ones. Any new integrations will still need to specify a target destination. So you actually have to tell it. If I was to add a new integration now, or new source data, I will have to tell it that this SQL data warehouse is its destination. Now, fingers crossed, this also works again. And that's it. What we've done so far, we've connected a data source, we've selected the data fields and the data that we want to move across. We've told it how far, because it's the first time we're connecting, we told it how far for it to historically sync, and we've told it how often we wanted to move the data across. We told it every half hour. We then connected a destination, a data warehouse, or we've invited another friend or colleague, within the organization to set that up for us as well. And now we have a data flow. Now, Stitch is pretty cool because it allows you to connect multiple data sources. So I can include a multiple of these. I can perhaps add NetSuite or stuff like that. Marketos, and additional sources, and I can send them to the same data warehouse, or I can do vice versa, send them to multiple destinations on multiple data warehouses, and so on. So there's a variation of how you can approach, your data flows and that kind of stuff. But all in all, we've just done something that usually takes sometimes days, onboarding a new data source, and we've done it in a few minutes. And with little to no technical barrier to entry for you to actually do this. So yeah, that's Stitch. Come back to me with any questions. There's definitely a little bit more to kind of unfold here. The documentations are a brilliant place. They're really well outlined, and information around how to use the product, the destinations, the integrations, the security side of things, any troubleshooting. Again, it uses an in-app chat here for the support side of things, so they are fairly responsive there. Like I mentioned earlier, it is based around the Singer community, so you can join their Slack channel and have a bit of communication there with the wider community. But feel free to kind of reach out to me, connect with me if you're interested in a little bit more, learning a little bit more about this, the pricing versions as well. It has 3 different packages. You start off with the pay-as-you-go version. It's based around the number of rows that you are replicating across. And then the higher packages, again, introduce further capabilities, stuff like advanced connectivity, post-load webhooks. So cooler, more productivity functionality, basically, in the upper tiers. So yeah, I hope you like that. I hope, if you've got any questions, come back to me. Let me know your thoughts. I'll be happy to address them as soon as I see them. And then, yeah, keep an eye out for the next few videos, which will delve a little bit more into the core of the Talon Data Fabric, the data integration capabilities, the data quality, the self-service, the data governance elements, which include the data catalog and the stewardship capabilities, the self-service apps. There's a lot to unpack there. And yeah, I hope you liked it, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.